Hello, my name is Chevalier, and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Hedjaz. We are still trying to totally form up Arabia, although I'm sure that we could have done it a lot more effectively, but we're not quite there yet with all these things. But anyway, we did conquer a decent chunk of land over here last time. We are slowly building up the iron mines there, although it's going to take a little bit longer there. We've got double food industry there as well that is inactive right now, which is not great. Language in the classrooms. I suppose we'll reduce the radicals from discrimination right now, because we've probably got quite a bit of discrimination going on in there. If we're going to start reducing some of that, sort of forming up, that'd probably be a good idea. Is there any more laws that we could pass? We could probably put serfdom back, but I don't think we're going to do that. But that's about it in terms of laws that we could try passing right now. We could bring in the armed forces again into the government, but I don't think they'd be all that great. I mean, it's fairly low power in there overall. So it's going to have to be a sort of slow process of reducing the landowners' power, so that other factions or the interest groups could get at least some more power for themselves. But anyway, we're slowly... Oh, actually, we got GDP number 23 in the world. I'm actually a bit surprised. We don't really have that good area in here. I mean, we've got quite a bit of industry, I suppose, in the end. So we've got the iron mines in Somaliland and then the food industry in Somaliland. You've got a textile mill there, but not too much. You've got 5 barracks. Why is your troop quality there? It's only irregulars, okay. Still got cordial relations with you though, and I don't want to get any more infamy right now. At least more than I have to, so we can afford waiting a little bit, I reckon, in here. How bad is the turmoil? It is 53%, so that has actually gone up again. I suppose one thing that I could do is I could start reducing... I'm going to reduce the fishing wharf again by 1 level. I suppose we could actually increase the fishing trawlers there. That would increase the clipper price, to be fair. I don't know if that's a good idea then. At least that many fishing walls at once. Yeah, these are already using the clippers though. What about over here? These are not. So maybe start increasing clipper production or consumption, I suppose, over there. So there's a bit extra fish. We have run pretty much out of money by now. Of course, we can afford taking quite a bit of loan still. So that's not the end of the world. But I suppose once we get the iron mine, that's going to allow us to get a lot of iron production, because that's already 3 mines there. And that's a 4th one that we're building right now. What's that then? Coffee plantation in Yemen. Ah, medical decree. Good. So, is there anything over here? I mean, there are a lot of things over here that I suppose we could use. For example, the law enforcement. On the other hand, the military, screw frigate, I mean, not necessarily needed. There's a process. So I suppose what we're going to do... Either colonization or law enforcement, that is going to be starting to spread. I'm going to bank on law enforcement right now. We might need a bit more of that. Let's be honest. Oh, Somali Secession. They would have 4 battalions. It's not the end of the world. We can probably retake that quite easy. But yeah, I was getting a little bit afraid of that. But I suppose we did have to reduce the infrastructure use and all that. But we'll just have to do an extra war in here, I suppose. We'll retake that. There shouldn't be a secession for a while at least. And then they have seceded. Right. Mobilize. Be ready to advance. I wonder what their troop quality is right now. They do have the same as us. So they inherited that, and conscription centers, they do have line infantry there, but they haven't got a lot of people working there. I wonder if they're messing... Oh, now they got the... Okay, both the iron and the food industry over there are now bugged. They're inactive, kind of indefinite. I mean, if I build something in, or some extra in there, then it will fix itself, but... Of course, first we need to reconquer all of that. But that's only the problem when you conquer parts of the same state that have the sort of same building. One is still construction in the first one. Oh, the damaging relations. I wonder why. Yeah, they've got 6 battalions. I don't think they'll be able to hold us back quite that much. I mean, we've got OK General. If we have a look at the stats, so we've got the... Oh, actually, we've got extra popularity in there as well from victories. And tactful, so that means less morale damage. That'll be fine. So we should be able to punch through this line here. So we're 20 versus 7. We've got just about the same offense as they've got defense, but we've got, of course, a lot more troops in here. Oh, broken supply line. We're a bit exhausted, though. We'll take a bit more morale loss. But I think with the amount of battalions that we still have fighting compared to what they have, Should be able to win this, although, man, that manpower situation was getting a bit dire. There we go. Well, at least we won the combat there. Oh, industrial boom. Sure, we'll get a bit of a boost in our productions over here. So, well, I suppose that stopped the constructions that were happening in here, but again, this is now inactive, and I don't think there's a way to activate that. Of course, well, I mean, a shame for the rebellion that they can't activate the economy, but also for me after I win this war. Yeah, we lost a lot of manpower in the early battle there, but after that battle, it should be getting a lot easier for us. Oh, now they're focusing all their troops over here. Well, I suppose, where's their capital? Do they have a... Oh, I don't actually know if they have a capital. Maybe it was over here. Well, I mean, not that it really matters. I'm going to crush the Secession anyway. And now they should be pretty low on strength as well. What do we have? Oh yeah, we've got another combat going in here. So they started with 2,400 men, we started with 10,000, so that's a pretty decent numbers in our favour. I know we're fighting in open terrain, so that makes quite a difference with the general that we have. Oh yeah, 34 versus 35. There we go. Right, so I don't suppose there is a way for me to... Let's see, if I downsize that... No, okay. Well, let's build another one there then. And then let's build the iron mine as well. Oh, wait, no. That way. There's a lot of the furniture factory... furniture price is pretty high, to be fair. Get the lathes in there, and I suppose we don't have hardwood really in the market yet. There's the millet farms. They didn't actually switch... Oh, there's the soil enrichment farming, of course. Get that one, and then I suppose the livestock ranch. Right, let's get the intensive grazing. I don't think we need the butchering tools yet. Mostly because the tool price is a bit on the high end, and the meat price is practically nothing. There we go, that's at least kind of fixed. Let's use market squares already, alright. Let's see how that goes for our economy. Right, so with the class works now being built up in our capital, we also... Oh, Ethiopia damaging relations. How much of an army do they have, and how good are their troops? They've got irregulars. They've got quite a bit of them, to be fair. They've got 48 plus another 24 if need be. I mean, I could always try to invite Egypt into that if need be. But anyway, now that we're constructing an area that doesn't have a massive turmoil, we are actually doing a lot better. The infrastructure situation... Oh, they switched the ports again, and they... No, actually, they didn't switch the ports, but they downsized the ports a lot. I'm going to build another port in there, I suppose. And what else I could reduce? I don't need the tea plantation. In fact, I can reduce the amount of tea plantations a little bit. That may have reduced some of the... Or increased some unemployment again. Also, I am going to try incorporating this again. Hopefully this time it works. And relations with Galedi are soon low enough that we could do a war against them, and then we'll have the entire state at least. So it won't have the same problems with the things being inactive as it has been right now. We're losing still a little bit of cash, but it's not too bad. We got medium taxes, so we could always increase taxes or lower some of the wages over here, but I don't think we need to do that right now. How's the... Okay, so if we look at the consumption taxes, liquor tax wouldn't necessarily be all that much better. Alright then. Okay, soon enough the relations are bad enough. We don't have any infamy, so if we do a war in here, we should be able to do that fairly... Oh, hold on a minute. They got a furniture factory being built. I suppose we've got the furniture factory already in here, so I don't think that's going to be the problem. Speaking of which, though, it's actually mostly hired everything that it needs. We could maybe use a bit more hardwood for some luxury furniture. That would actually make a bit of profit, so I will do that. And tooling workshop, we still don't have the iron production, really. Because we've got multiple mines over here that are not active. The fishing is something that... Well, we've got 6 fishing wharves right now. The fish price is a bit of a low one. I'm going to reduce that one a little bit. That does mean that there might be a bit of unemployed and a bit more... Actually, there's no turmoil right now. Interesting. But the market access is bloody rubbish. Oh, appointed bureaucrats. Yes, please. That would reduce the power of the landowners once again. Devout Scandal, are you a good a traditionalist? We could maybe force you to step down then. Oh, and what did we get? Right, we got the law enforcement. Right, I suppose the colonization is the last one over here. Or we could go for some of the military. I mean, the Screw Frigate is still underway, or I'm going to get the Bessemer process. Not that I have steel production right now, but at least I can get something else started spreading to us. Right, so Galedi, you're wary. You're improving relations with Ethiopia. I do actually wonder. There'd be 3 infamy. Egypt might join on our side, but there's potentially some others might join on their side. I mean, those most are neutral. I suppose Ethiopia is hurting the relations with us. Well, let's give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? And then let's send in the armies there to do the advancing. So I could sway Egypt. Let's have a look. What could I do? Offer obligation. You know what? No, not necessarily going to do that. Not yet, at least. But I do hope that we get the appointed bureaucrats done in due time, because that would be, honestly, really useful. If you have a look at the current law, hereditary bureaucrats, that's, well, I suppose population cost multiplier for bureaucracy is reduced, but landowners do get more stuff there. But appointed bureaucrats would increase tax capacity, which would be pretty good for our money, admittedly. I mean, we do have a bit of tax capacity issue in Yemen already. Speaking of which, can we... Oh yeah, we're already using filing cabinets, never mind. It does give a bit of extra tax capacity, but clearly not enough. But I suppose it is one of the most populous states that we have right now. I mean, it's 1.5 million out of the 3.15 million, so yeah, it is more than most of the other states combined then in population. There we go, Bessemer process. I think what we're going to do, mechanical tools would be quite good to have, to be fair. Then of course there's the canneries, but that's not necessarily the best option right now. Then of course there's the pattern stills, food industries, or chemical bleaching. No, atmospheric engine. We don't have any coal though in our market, I don't think, so that would be a bit of a problem. I'm going to go for the mechanical tools. We need to improve our economy a little bit further right now. So no one joined this war, good. So it's going to be 1-on-1. And we've got a lot better quality troops compared to this. I mean, compared to any European nation, we've definitely not got any better troops than they do, but at least we should be able to punch through here. Oh, yep. That is a good victory there. Bureaucratic struggle. We'll spare no expense. Success chance 10% and minus 20% enactment time. Or more bureaucracy, longer time but more chance. That wouldn't necessarily be too bad either. Although we're not really lacking in bureaucracy right now. I'm going to say it's minus 10% bureaucracy. It's going to be a little bit of an unfortunate thing, but it won't last forever. But it also gives us a bit of speed. And then we will also get a bit more chances of passing it. Oh, Marina Kingdom improving relations. Oh, they must have got an interest in here. Right, we got another combat against... they had 4 battalions. We lost about 300 men. They lost a little bit more than that. Not much more, mind you, but... they don't really have a lot of an army anymore. We'll just keep on going. Well, Galedi has the war goal, so they should be willing to give up soon, I suppose. There's another victory. The money situation is looking a little bit dire, but I suppose we're going to get another class work done soon, so that's going to start using a bit more lead for more class, and also, oh, there we go, appointed bureaucrats. Ah, there we go, we're actually making money. Plus, the landowners are now losing a bit more of the influence. Good. Oh, and there we go, and started working on the industry. Oh, do I actually have a... No, it's not necessarily... Well, I suppose since we own part of this and we reclaimed this, I suppose due to the separatist movement, or secession movement, we gained kind of a core in here, I guess. There we go, now we've gotten that. Let's have a look at it. So the furniture manufacturers, we can probably reduce that by a little bit. The tooling workshops, we definitely don't need 3 of these here. Go just to 1. Let's have a look. Does that increase? There's a bit of devastation. importing slaves. Alright. That's not great. Did we have any... Right, so we've got a double port. So that should be hiring some more people. We've got so many millet farms in here. Let's reduce those to 20. Livestock ranches we can probably reduce a little bit as well. Go to 15 or something. Might reduce or increase turmoil or something. But at the same time, we just need to reduce the infrastructure use. Go for 10 tea plantations. And then coffee plantations, we could probably reduce that to 5. Let's have a look. So that should free up at least a little bit. Also, it probably increases the... Well, actually, probably not that much turmoil or anything like that. Or maybe some radicals, but it doesn't look like it's too bad. Maybe a little bit. There we go. We're back to 47%. Right, that's not exactly phenomenal, let's be honest. Oh, now we've got 7 barracks in here. I'm going to reduce this to 5. It's at least a start, but it's not going to take too much of the workforce away. There we go. That's one problem solved. And we've got the glassworks over here. Oh, we don't have enough lead production for it. Right, I mean, oh, there's a lot of demand for it. Okay, let's increase lead production, I guess. Put another 2 levels there. I mean, Yemen does have a decent bit of peasants there. That's good. There we go. We're taking all of Somaliland. So if we were to fight against Oman, what sort of an army do they have? They got light infantry with cannon artillery, so we got slightly better. But if they are defending, then they will potentially, if they... Well, I suppose we've got 20 battalions. They've got... How many do they have total? I suppose 10 plus 12 afterwards. They don't have a massive GDP, actually. Oh, freedom of conscience. There's a bit of movement for it, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be enough. Oh, a health system. Oh, yeah, charity hospital. That is something that I will do, although bureaucracy is going to be a problem. So what we should do, after the food industry in Somaliland, we are going to... Actually, is there areas with low taxation? Yemen is still a bit of low taxation, so we'll build another one of government administrations in there. I will build the iron mine, actually, as well. Just to be on the safe side. But we will need a bit more bureaucracy. Although, I suppose we should be... Do we still have some of the modifiers that are... No, I think it should be fine. It was just while enacting the thing, wasn't it? So that's already gone. Right, well, I suppose we might have some trait routes that we could cancel. We'll cancel that one, so we'll get at least some of the points back, so we are not looting quite as much money. Oh, and our GDP is 6.7 million, so how do we compare to Egypt? 9.3. Not that far behind, actually. It's like... They're the 70th largest GDP, I'm the 22nd. But a lot will depend on once we get the food industry up and running in here. I mean, there should be some workforce in there, yeah, there is. But they're not doing anything. Yeah, we got the sweeteners there. Pot stills, I don't think... Well, they might be worth by now. Right, they've got a bit of employment in there, but I suppose... I don't know. Well, we'll have that in about 6 months anyway. So then we can start getting a lot of food production going. Hopefully. Oh, and we got a second level armament infantry. Is that by the private section? No. Oh, I don't think we need a second arms infantry, to be fair. We'll cancel the expansion. Because we just don't have the manpower in there. Injured farmers. We will try and help them. Get that done a little bit. So authority... Oh, Russia is damaging relations. Oh dear. I will counteract that by improving relations. They'll have to expel my diplomats, which they probably will do, let's be honest. At least we got on a bit of expansion. Now, admittedly, we can't afford fighting Russia. Although, Ottomans are protective of me, so if Russia declares war on me, Ottomans might actually join on my side. Maybe. Not entirely sure, but there's a chance. There we go. So at least they stay in cordial, so they can't declare war unless they expel my diplomats. So I suppose another thing is to do a war against Oman, but if we were to do that, is there a chance that... Well, I suppose there is always a chance that Russia would join on the enemy side. I wouldn't mind getting Oman, to be fair, because that would be yet another state for the forming of Arabia, and of course we are still not quite there yet, let's just say. We'd have to either take a decent chunk from Ottomans. Oh, screw frigate has been done. Oh, and there we go. Charity hospitals. Now we've got a massive bureaucracy shortfall, though. That is costing us a lot of money. Luckily, we can have up to 4 million credit, which is a lot more than what we were able to have earlier. Of course, that was earlier. Right, we don't really need this many fishers. I'm going to reduce one of these to free up a little bit of the infrastructure at least. This is such a massive amount of things, though. Ah, there we go. We've got the second food industry now, so these should be at least providing some money. And plus also some cheaper food in there. Credit where credit's due. I think I will actually credit the industrialists, yes. Get them a little bit more power. And slowly also start whittling down the landowner power. Admittedly, since I am... or the ruler is part of the landowners, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get out of there. Oh, so we could go for the... oh, right, yeah. State relation is probably fine for now. Right of assembly, we'll hold on to that one, because that does increase the... well, actually, not necessarily that much, but yeah, that's still a pretty decent thing to have. We could maybe get rid of one of these taxes to get the authorities things situated again. Still losing a lot of money, though. My goodness. Right, well, we're going to get the iron mine hopefully finally running in here, which is going to allow us to get a lot of other things going. The wood and the... yeah, okay, so if we were to get... I suppose Eritrea doesn't have any trees. Ethiopia is probably a bit too strong for us to fight right now. They do... well, actually, I suppose they don't have artillery. But they do have the manpower to fight us off. Of course, if we were to just hold the ground there for a little while, let them try to attack us, defeat them in defensive combat, and then do a counterattack afterwards. Or... get a little bit more troops, but that is, of course, a bit easier said than done. We don't really have that many peasants. Well, maybe a little bit in the capital and such, but I suppose also the artillery is still very much a shortage. Mostly probably due to Egypt. Well, not necessarily only due to Egypt, but partially at least due to Egypt. And since, of course, this one's not really... like, there is some artillery production in here, no doubt. Well, 6. But a lot of that is not coming into the market itself. It can only be used locally. At least Yemen is... oh, there we go. So it's only minus 13% tax collection rate there now. But that is still pretty bad. Yeah, we're paying 5,000 per week already for interest there. But again, as soon as we get our own iron production, that will start making quite a difference in the situation. Although there's not a lot of employment going on in here. But again, it's going to start reducing the iron price a lot. Which then will make a lot of other things be more profitable. And of course, one of the big things... oh, right, we've got taxways of... oh, wow, we've got quite a bit of taxways, actually, don't we? Also, the interest rate is bloody massive. But there we go, now we're getting the government administration in Yemen, so that will probably help a lot. And plus, we get our own paper mills at Hedjaz. We might want to get a sulfur mine as well, soon enough. We'll put that into the queue. So after that, it's going to be another wheat farm in Yemen. Ah, fair enough. I mean, we've got some peasants in there, at least. And utilizing the wheat farm in there, I mean, we can get a pretty good amount of extra food and some fruits and sugar as well. Great molasses flood. Yeah, we can maybe get a bit more radicals there. I'm not too worried about that. Radicals in Somaliland right now. But the amount of infrastructure that we're using in there is still pretty concerning. Because once we get the... well, we got one port underway there, and once we have embraced the states, or incorporated the states, sorry, that is going to get us to at least 50 infrastructure, which means that it's not quite as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Well, 50 plus another 5 maybe from the port, of course, that's assuming that we get it fully employed, which is not necessarily guaranteed. Although, is the population at least increasing? It is, and there is almost 1 million in Somaliland. Okay. Yeah, it's increasing at a pretty good speed overall there. Well, that's definitely good news for us then, I suppose. So how's world looking like? It's not... oh, right. Papal States is part of the American market now. Or, well, they are puppet, I suppose. Alright then. Oh, and they've taken a bit more from Mexico. They've got still... is that Colorado? No, Utah is still in there. Colorado would be right there. So I was close. Not quite accurate, though. Right, so Brazil is looking as usual. Peru, Bolivia is still a thing. I mean, usually is, I suppose. Great Britain has been expanding a lot in Africa already, in a lot of corners of Africa, let's just say. The French, at least, the French have a little bit of bases in there, of course. Then there's the Portuguese bases. Oh, Aranja is fighting. Oh, they got a rebellion going on in there, alright. Russia hasn't started colonizing over there yet. Jing is still as big as ever. Like, in this region, there hasn't really been that much happening, I suppose. So I'm guessing the biggest surprise is really just the puppeting of papal states, I guess. I wasn't expecting that, let's be honest. Right, so we should be able to get the mechanical tools in 3 months. Oh, Oman declared rivalry, alright. I wonder if they've got... Well, I suppose I could declare rival on them. Get a bit more points back. And then Ottomans, I'm gonna... Well, I suppose we've got as good relations with you as possible. I could maybe improve relations with Austria as well. At least a little bit. So how strong is Wello? 25 plus 11. And what is their troop quality? Irregulars. Okay, so that's not actually too bad. But if we were to declare war over here, will anyone join in on their side? So we'd take probably the Wello Eritrea first. There's only a few options that could join. And again, since we got the better quality, we could potentially conquer some of this. So what I'm thinking here is, if I conquer all of this, first of all, we'll get a land connection to Egypt again. Which would mean that some of the... Well, I suppose it wouldn't necessarily mean the market access is going to be any better. But it might mean, at least during wartime, it will allow us to get a little bit better stuff there. But then, of course, we would be able to start getting some logging camps in here, which are going to be very important. We don't have a lot of money now. Well, I mean, suppose we still got a lot of debt that we could take. We'll be taking it pretty quickly here. So, I don't suppose... So, opium is 400. Liquor wouldn't be anything near that. We could always increase the taxes. That would give us another 4,000. But I suppose big problem is just the lack of bureaucracy. So we're losing quite a bit of money from the taxation in here. But I'm sure that once we get the admin or government administration built in Yemen, that will increase both taxation in there, plus increase the bureaucracy. Not necessarily quite enough, but I'm sure that that will at least slow down the acquired debt. Okay, so we got the... Oh, we should be getting the mechanical tools. Oh, well, now we get that. Good. And then let's go ahead and... Well, atmospheric engine could be okay. That would lead to railways at least, which is always quite nice. And at the same time, let's have a look at the military. Oh, field works. I'm going to take that. Morale loss minus 5% and army defense plus 10% will be very, very useful. And then we should be pretty close, 3 weeks away from the government administration. Make that 2. And looks like the amount of radicals is at least slowly going down. The standard of living is actually not too shabby overall. Of course, eventually, once we get our independence, it's going to change quite a bit. Oh, but there we go. The bureaucracy is now increasing. We're still losing quite a bit of money, but it should... Oh, yeah, there we go. Unrealized taxes only 900 now. Make that 700. So, yeah, that will be probably fixed for the most part. There might be still a little bit lost there. There's also a lot of investment pool. But how much do we use on construction? 4700. Alright, then. If I was to pause everything, I suppose the investment pool would be used a little bit more. But I'm kind of leaning on the fact that we should probably get a little bit more construction to be used by the investment pool, which means that it would... Well, I suppose actually, with the traditionalism, we can't use the investment pool or anything, although I suppose it is mostly just a private construction allocation that uses it, isn't it? Now that I think of it, at least I think that is how it was changed, but I could be completely mistaken, so I do apologize for that. However, we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if I haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, until next time, bye bye.